Well, yes, indeedy. Step by step, we're moving along with that flow that is like something in the air, baby, that's changing everything everywhere, including inside of you and me too, and the rest of this reality. I don't know if you've noticed, but there is a big old reorganization going on here in this old rocking little world we call Mother Earth, this third density dimensional presence where we happen to be hanging out a little bit, babies. I tell you, the flow of Spring Creek's getting to me. How about you? Is it getting to you too, man? Step by step, little by little, babies. And that's the way we take it. An element at a time, man, you know. And suddenly, one moment, you realize you are truthfully divine, and that the divine flows through you. And you are the interpretation of the divine in creation, man. You know, what does that mean, Grandpa, you big talking old fool? Don't be talking like that around here, man. We're hillbillies. We don't understand that shit. Okay, let me put it a little simpler. We are love in motion. It's as simple as that. When you let go of the mind, when you let the mind be operated by the heart, when you give it back to the true instrument of love that it be's, its own little controller, don't you see? Well, the mind becomes a whole new reality, baby. And it recreates everything around you too, man. So don't be blue. Just hang on and just take it. Step by step. You sense what's coming, just flow into it, turn and face it. Don't ever walk away. Don't ever run away, man, 'cause you can't. If you walk away, guess what? You walk right back into it, man, 'cause it's all around you. And I'm talking about what? The presence, the conscious presence of the human heart, which is the universal heart, which is the mother love heart, which is that which creates everything we live in, okay? I mean, it's a long old story. Now, someday I'll tell you the whole big thing. You know, I've been trying to write this book lately here at the Rocky Mountain High. I'm a little slow. I'm not near as good a typist as I used to be, and I got a little withering health problems, don't you see? So I think I'm just going to voice record it. I might play a little slice here and there for you on this here radio show we call Spring Creek, don't you know, where the original flow begins. All the original moments right here, right now, and guess what? It never ends. It's just a beginning, man. So everything is new and fresh and vibrant, just like it is for a child. When you're living in this heart of yours, when you're living in that child-like heart, the child you left behind so long ago that you forgot you even were a child. Doesn't seem like you ever were. It's so long ago. And, man, maybe you had it rough like a lot of us do, man, in our childhood. Well, guess what, you know? We're here to prove the durability of that innocence. Look, we've made it through this far. You think we can't finish this little performance? I think we can, baby. We can neutralize the toxicity of the man just by allowing ourselves to release the toxicity from what we are. Yeah, that which is holding us back and cooling us off and slowing us down or whatever it might be. You just go inside, baby. You give yourself some time out in nature. Maybe you're out there in the shade of a tree sitting by a creek. Maybe you got a little fishing line in the creek, or maybe you're more elegant than that and you don't have to have an excuse to be out there in nature, and you're just there. And babies, you know, you give yourself some time. You open up that third eye. You feel the energy in your hands. And baby, you start to merge and emerge. First inside of yourself, but you sense your connection with everything. And all of a sudden, I mean, it happens rather suddenly, even though you're doing it step by step. You feel a strange congruity. Only it's not so strange. It feels very familiar. You're just not used to it. And when I say congruity, that means the life around you flowing with you instead of sometimes against you. You see? So everything in your 3D world becomes complementary rather than uncomplimentary or resistant. Conflicting. See, that dissolves away as you get yourself out in nature and get in tune with your heart today, you know. It's a Wowzer Wednesday. You might as well wowse yourself, you know. Don't go to work today. Go to play today, man. And if you got to be to work, you're in some critical industry, Make sure you have some time in the janitorial closet without a partner. Just, take your heart as your partner, babies. And, give yourself some time to experience the divine. You can do it in a janitor's closet just as simply as you can sitting by that bubbly little mountain stream, though it is quite a bit more available by the mountain stream, according to our own little psychological behaviors, but this is what I mean. In the janitor's closet, you can still experience the stream. Bring it right to you in this dream, see? So that can be every bit as dynamic as sitting by the stream, because guess what? You are. And you're learning to flow with the stream. This is what the mountain stream is singing to you as it bubbles down along those little rocky crags and bubbling over and under and around and through. It just giggles all the way down the mountain. It's telling you, man, this is the flow of life. This is your love in motion. This is the lifeblood of Mother Earth right here, the lifeblood of all life. The emotional side of it, too, it's all in the liquidity, man, in the water. Yes, indeed. Notice that when scientists start to analyze what we're supposed to be here inside this human being carcass kind of thing, man, they come up with like 89% water or something. Well, it is. It's the ocean, babies, and it flows in us. This is why the moon so affects us, because it still pulls on the ocean. It makes tides rise and fall, man. Romance, too, if you're, of that nature still. Maybe finally you're starting to see through even that basic little element in life. Step by step, baby. Don't push yourself. Don't believe anything, but just see where you've been. And then start to see why. Start to see the larger picture. And if you can see that, babies, you got it right here, right now, and it's all together, and none of it's traumatizing any longer. Now, I got to tell you, that 99% of us get traumatized in our childhood, and more than once, too, and most through intimate violations, I would say, by persons in authority. This happens a lot in this reality. But you don't want to hold on to that pain. You don't want to hold on to the bullshit they fed you either, to make you feel so damn guilty and so much shame that you'd just soon be dead as living that way. But guess what? You outgrew it. You came through it. And you found out that, intimacy wasn't what they were cracking it up to be. But it's nothing to sneeze at either. And it's not something that, we're allowed to experience in any real sort of way. You want me to repeat that? We're not allowed to experience real intimacy in any real sort of way. Now, I know some of you have been to some pretty dynamic places, one with another and all that kind of stuff. I know the heart is incredibly powerful when the romance is going on, but how much of that is programming, baby? How much of that is just fulfilling a superficial need that someone created inside of your psyche, man? Question yourself. Look at this stuff. Be real. Don't lie to yourself, man, You can ride off into the sunset, but you can never live happily ever after until you see beyond the lies we live in the 3D, and that's one of the biggest ones. It gets right down to the basic elements. The lust and power equation that males and females share. Basically, I know there's lots of cosmic mixing, so whatever. But it's all based on a superficial need to return to the mother love, a state of unity, a state of harmony. If you look at the basis of all your lusts, the basic element of it, that's what you feel, a tragic loss of the mother love. So there's a need to reconnect. You feel separated, isolated, alone. It hurts. So you create romance, with a lot of shame built into that, because you got to be just one partner, so many rules, so many regulations, and that's not natural to our heart. We're innocent children, we're meant to be born in innocence and live in innocence, though we don't get to do much of that in this here, Western world, man, or Eastern world either, Some of the tribals still have it, but most of them are losing it too, man. The world's been completely corrupted and gone away from itself, and human beings have been forced into a situation where it's them versus the whole wide world. And I mean, that's just no place to be. And that's the biggest damned illusion you could create too. I mean, there's a lot of big illusions here, and that's one of them too, man. Shoot. But see, the ability to see through it comes when you're like working with your third eyes and your hands, and you're out there in nature or wherever you can get, to have a little alone time. But you can also practice this with others too. As you acquire a little more understanding of yourself in yourself, then it's quite naturally shared. You will draw people to you that are of a similar vibration. And this alone shit goes out the window because, all of a sudden the piccolo player in the orchestra that felt so damn alone finds out that he or she is surrounded by 15 more piccolos. You know what I mean? That everybody, that everybody has a vibe and everybody has a tribe. We've just been ripped away from it through programming, genetic engineering, and so forth. Now, I know that's a lot to swallow early in the day, but just consider it along the way. If you can see how programmed your behavior has been, then you can let go of the programming and, get on with it. And you can live a real loving life. You can let go of all of the burdens that others have laid on you because of what you've done or had done to you or whatever, and accept just the blessing that's in it, all of it. Just sometimes the ability to get through a moment of violation. Sometimes that's the most incredible performance there could ever be in this reality. Just a simple little thing like that. But just getting through this particular avenue that you're dealing with right now can be, just living to tell about it. That's one of the greatest things in creation. Because we put our heart to the supreme test in this reality again and again and again. And every time, no matter what the outcome looks like in 3D, every time, not only do we survive, we thrive on that experience. Our soul presence, our heart grows tremendously, seeing how much it can take and how far it can take it, and still be innocent and pure and loving to the sense of perfection, where you really can't stop loving the reality around you. That's the ideal state of being, and when we're there as a unified heart, babies, well, creation is our oyster, so to speak, which means, it's in our hands, our heart, and we can have it any way we want it. We can let go of industrial facilities. We don't have to do agriculture. We don't have to do construction. We don't have to do anything but just cruise with life and let it flow all the good things to us that we ever thought we might have wanted or needed, and flow it on out to our friends and our family and our live in vibrational harmony, man. Get ourselves in the right seat in the orchestra now, so, the symphony of life can go forward in a much more coherent manner, wouldn't you say? As we let the elements of the 3D, the imperialism, the fascism, die away. You see? We don't need no stinking government. We never did, man, It's a pain in the backside continually, and it always gets corrupt, no matter how high-minded or idealistic its beginnings might be. It's just been the way we've done it here. We've just let it get impure. The nasty ones are just drawn to those places because they don't feel powerful. So they got to go out and, fight, scratch, kill, bomb, that kind of stuff, and, feel powerful. Poor little kids. Ooh, we're going to wipe their snotty little noses with a harsh rag, aren't we, kids? Well, no, not really. There's no punishment for the role you play. If there is, it's just something you're heaping on yourself today. Maybe you better consider that might not be the most apt place to be, that maybe you should be a little more free with yourself. Maybe you should allow yourself a little indulgence in the 3D, whatever that might be. A little scoop ice cream once in a while, a little roll in the hay with your best friend, whatever. I don't know. We all have our thing. But really, again, you go down through that thing, you go down through the thing below that, the thing below that, and the thing above it too, and you find out it's just that same basic urge. It's what hunger is. It's emptiness. It's feeling alone. It's feeling like without the support of the Mother Earth and her foods, we wouldn't live. Without the breath, no way, man. See? But that's all based on a superficial separation that isn't in existence. It just seems to be. We aren't separated from the mother love. We are made of it. Well, it's a mother and father thing, of course, but it ain't the authoritarian God you've been talking to. It's the mother love whose authority is the heart, the softest side of life. That's where the true power lies, and we're beginning to find that step by step, aren't we, baby? Amazing what's in the air or the atmosphere here. Once this old spring creek starts to flow, well, there ain't no stopping it, don't you know? 'Cause life only wants to compel itself into more life and more experience and higher times until we all just know that even the singlest, tiniest little leaf on the tree is still graciously divine. And so are we, okay? Hey, we got it in a rock and roll sort of way. Getting you in the flow here on the Hazy Radio Network with Grandpa Coyote and our little assistant universal DJ, Mr. Yogi Okiwan Kanobe. Yeah, that's a long one, isn't it? Yeah, I like it. Well, you got to hang that on a dog every now and then because he's such a noble gentleman, man. Just ask anybody who was down there at the Three-Sided Hole Ranch gathering last weekend, man. You know, he's like the prince of the place, man, you know, and all the other dogs were worshiping with him too, man. Just so incredible, man. Nice to have such great personalities. Even yourself hanging out here today, baby. Let me give you a little hug here. Yeah. Ooh, little heart hug from my heart to yours, your heart to mine, from Mary Jane, a release of the pain as we participate in unity, baby. The flow of love setting you free here on the Hazy Radio Network at Spring Creek. Indeed, it's the original, you know.